We come to collect. Did it all on my own, yeah. When it brought it back home, yeah. Now they calling my phone, yeah. But I'm all in my zone. They not a threat. Tell them reset. When they're at their best, we still not impressed.
Yo, it's your boy TDs with Unfiltered Hoops. To the left of me, I got my boy Zach. And we got a special guest on our left side, Coach Q Swader. Coach Q Swader is the girls' varsity assistant coach here at Carter Mooney. This is our first episode of Coaches Interviews with Unfiltered Hoops, and pretty much we want to provide the coaches just a platform to speak about their program, the ins and outs, and what it takes to, really build a program. So we're going to have a couple of questions for Coach Swader to kind of answer, to give insight to everything that goes on here at Carter Mooney. So without further ado, we'll let Zach kind of dive in with some questions.
All right, man. So we know that obviously it's a process to build a program. So kind of walk us through how this program got to where it is today.
Yeah, so me and Coach Marlon, this will be our third year with the program, took over. Coach Rico had them for a good couple of years, getting the program rolling. He decided to step down, so me and Coach Marlon came in. And then it was kind of a little bit of a revamp and adjustment year as that. So some kids transferred out. Some kids had other sports, they was great at. We had a girl that was a D1 volleyball player, so we didn't really expect her to come back and play. So just from there, we came in and had to change the way we kind of want to do things, run the system the way we want to. And a big focus on basketball, the little things, jab steps, catching the ball in motion, shooting in motion, 4 or 5 passes, spreading the floor, and we wanted to play fast. That was the biggest thing. We wanted to be like the running rebels. We wanted to run the floor, get up there and score quickly, because, we don't have 6'5" players. So the thing is, we wanted to score quickly, as quick as we could, and run the score up as much as we could.
Okay, so obviously you and Coach Marlon coming in, the players you have now, were they kind of shocked at some of the things that had changed, or?
We ran a lot, so that definitely was a big adjustment to them. We ran a lot, so we knew we wanted to run for 4 quarters. And the biggest thing, we wanted to shoot the ball, but we knew we needed to shoot the ball for 4 quarters, so they had to run. So that was a big adjustment to them, running a lot of suicides, up downs, different drills. I called them defensive slide suicides when the defensive stance sliding. So a bunch of those things was a check of culture reality. But they adjusted it over time, and they bought in eventually.
When did y'all finally see a turning point in the program? Not that the program was ever in a bad state, but to your standards.
I really say that first year at the Christmas tournament, the Tampa Bay Christmas tournament, we played some good talent. We didn't win the first 2 games, but they saw that they could compete with the rest of them and then go all the way through the season. So they really competed that first 2 games in there, and we ended up with a good season. But once the competition got harder and they saw that they could compete, that's when we really saw the turn.
Okay. Yeah, obviously building a team and a program, it starts from the top. So how did you and Coach Marlon kind of get together and create this dynamic relationship where you knew Mooney would be kind of the place where you guys would take the reins?
Yeah, absolutely. So Coach Marlon got the job, and he wanted someone to come in to really have the same idea as him. When you're coaching a team and you want to be a winning team, you really have to have a team, like we say, a coaching staff. One person by himself, it's just not going to be very easy at all. So he wanted some people to come in, and I had previously coached Callie's brother in travel ball. I was with the boys for a while, travel ball. So then I was very aware of who she was, and then so my experience relationship with Tampa Thunder and Tampa Titans as well in that time frame, he asked me, and he said this is what he wanted to do. And I was like, only if we can be in the gym as much as we can. We both buy in, and we really delve into what the girls want. And if we can teach them how to play basketball and not just run up the floor, we can really change this program. So me and him really got together, no egos from the jump. And, we're just all coaches. One coach's word is the same. We try to make sure we're all saying the same thing. Sometimes we got to backtrack and say, all right, we're going to go with what this coach said, and this is the final way we're going to deal with it. But yeah, just no egos coming in and making it all about the kid.
That's all. You hit it right on the head with that one. Is being in sync with each other. I think, the best programs are always aligned with each other. So speaking on a little bit of that, with you coming from the boys side of things, how hard was the transition from coaching boys and coaching girls? You know, I've had the experience of doing it, and it's definitely night and day when you compare them. So, like, give us kind of your experience from coaching boys and now kind of transition to girls, and how did that come about, and how did you settle in on it?
Yeah, so luckily before I came to coach the high school girls side, I had just transitioned to travel girls basketball. So I had just did that in the off season. But the biggest adjustment is so boys, you kind of have to bring them back to reality. And girls, you have to keep constantly reminding them that they are good to get here. So like boys, you tell them, hey, box out. They won't box out until they get dunked on. And then they're like, oh, coach, you're right. With girls, it's like, hey, you can do this, you do this, and they'll get to the point of it. And then being very intricate with them. If you tell the girls go to the corner, that's where they're going to go to the corner. But breaking down the systems. But they pay way more attention to detail, which is the more fun part for me. I'm an X and O guy. I like to get all types of things in the system. So the girls, they enjoy that because they do the little details. They don't just depend on their athleticism. They do all the little things to make the plays easier for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, just from what I've seen, a lot of boys basketball players think it's not importance to detail because they're too good. Too good. What's coach tell me this for? I'm too good.
Right. I think it's what I always harp on and what I've seen is just like with boys, I feel like they have to win in order to have fun. Where girls is they have to have fun, and then the winning starts, and everything is just that's the whole formula behind that. So, I'm obviously you got a great group of girls that not only works, but they understand what you guys are trying to teach them, and it's not a tug of war. I'm like, oh well, Coach Swader wants me to do this. I really don't want to do this. Like they all buy in, and I think that really determines like how good this program really is because everyone buys in. They understand what you guys are trying to tell them to do and teach them to get to that next level. So all in all, I mean, you guys are doing everything right. But another question I want to ask is like since inception of getting this role, working with Coach Marlon, building a relationship with the girls, has there been any regrets as far as what you guys have done in these past 3 years? If there's something that you would like to change, maybe when you first started, or just looking at throughout the journey, like how does that look from your standpoint?
No, actually, no. Everything we did, we built. We brought in the system. Me and Coach Marlon, when we started, was all right. What type of system do we want to run? We decided, it's not dependent on what we used to run. It's what fits the girls' system specifically. And every year we've added more and more stuff. The higher their IQ get, the more stuff we add. And, we just really kind of set the standard. Sometimes it might seem unreachable to them, but we want them to reach as high as possible. So even if they reach that, they'll go further than that. And that really has adjusted to with our, two of our captains, Callie and Maddie. They made the idea to want to be into the gym at 6 in the morning, shooting shots for an hour and a half, and then working out and lifting. That's all on them. We didn't make them do that. So the leaders, the captains, just the players with the most offers, really putting themselves out there to push everyone. So I couldn't ask for more because once we saw that, we knew we was doing everything right.
So kind of going back to our conversation before this, when you say talk about the philosophy, why you guys do stuff, kind of walk us through why you scheduled the way you scheduled this year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we got 2 highly recruited players on the team. Other players that can play at the next level. Not a lot of teams have 5 players in their starting lineup that can play at the next college level. And then players coming off the bench that just needs the opportunity. So we said, we got to play the hardest schedule at the beginning of the season to get rid of that false sense of, like we're that good. But now we got to play the best of the best to be the best. And then it gets you ready for that long run into the state playoffs. As everyone knows, we've hit the rock wall of Miami Country Day a couple times at the state championship. So, we didn't know they was going to change the classifications this year. But the main idea was first we had to play the best team so we could get rid of those small things, those changes early in the season. So by the time the second half of the season, everything's just naturally kicking in. So, you really don't know. Mike Tyson has a great quote, everybody, swear they can fight till they get hit in the mouth. So we want to get hit in the mouth, fight constantly, and just get better over time with that. So the only way you can really see if you're actually competing and really good enough, you got to play the best of the best.
I mean, You guys are just doing everything right.
I mean, y'all could have easily scheduled every area team 1 by 30, 40, get to playoffs, and then get stunned on the road. So, I think it's great y'all scheduled the way you did. So now, next question I got is, how do you have that player-coach relationship with your girls different from AAU? Is there a different player-coach relationship, or you kind of just combine it?
Yeah, so like I said, you have to have a team of coaches because sometimes I might be a jerk for the day. Sometimes I might be the one that's motivating. But each coach has those different moments. It has to be a team because one person's words sometimes it's not correlating as quick as it needs to be. But everybody just buying in and listening to the girls. It's not a dictatorship at the point where nothing else matters. You got to listen to them. And sometimes in the heat of the moment, we as coaches might be this and that, but we'll go back and say, all right, how does this work? What do we need to do? Y'all explain to us what makes sense. What word works better for you? Because if we're going to teach the details, we have to make sure it makes sense to them. A lot of times coaches believe, if it makes sense to me, it makes sense to the players. But we have to go back and make adjustments and just really just buy into it. And like I said, give them a voice. Let them tell us when something's not right, when something's not going on, when we hurt their feelings. And us as coaches, we have to hold ourselves accountable by saying, all right, we were wrong in this situation. This is the better way to do it. And we love when the kids, they come to the point and they be like, hey, we want to do this. Like, I'm a big point guard guy. If I call something, my point guard sees something differently, I love it. So giving them that freedom on the floor. Hey, if you see something differently, make that decision. Because eventually, I don't want to have to call the offense. I want you to call it the inbounds because you can see it and adjust to it. So really just having an open door policy to them and everybody just working together to get the best results.
It's two things that really you hit on, and it resonates to the girls. One, them wanting to work out at 6 a.m. You're not going to find too many local girls or guys in this area that is going to work out at 6 a.m. The last thing is you guys listen to the girls. And I think and it all resonates back to the girls. And I think once you get to a certain standard of a program where coaches can put the pride aside and say, you know what, let the girls talk. Let us listen to kind of how they're feeling. And wow, these girls really want to work out at 6 a.m. Like me as a coach, I'm like, damn, all right, I'm up too at 6 a.m. Like I'm hyped because you just don't find that in this area. And I've been back and forth in this area for a long time. So it's very, very hard to kind of grasp that like it's only a small group of girls that are wanting to work out at 6 a.m. But you have so many girls and guys wanting to go to the next level. And it's like, they just don't, it's just a false reality of kind of how it really is in the real world. Like when it's time to really grind, like there's only a few people that are at the top and that goes to show. But I mean, we praise your program all the time. I'm sure everyone here is on the podcast. I don't care. No team in this area is messing with them. But we just love what you guys are doing. Just uplifting the girl community in basketball. Like it's had its ups and downs, and I think you guys have set a standard where any local girls, active hoopers that are really trying to get to the next level, like just pay attention to kind of what Carter Mooney's doing, and I promise you'll reap the benefits of it. So we appreciate you coming out, giving us your insight on the program, and good luck as the season rolls out more, and you guys are getting in kind of the nitty gritty of the schedule now. So good luck, and we wish you guys the best.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
We come to collect. Did it all on my own, yeah. When it brought it back home, yeah. Now they calling my phone, yeah. But I'm all in my zone. They not a threat. Tell them reset. When they're at their best.